If you have been doing the work by reading personal development books, listening to podcasts, even staying on top of your physical fitness, but you are still finding that there is this insistent nagging voice in your head trying to keep you small, or is particularly loud when you make a mistake, then your mind is running on an old program that you didn't even choose. Hey there, my name is Julia. I'm a certified Dharma life coach, and I have spent years deep in this work and support clients with these challenges. This is part 2 of my 6-part relationship with self series. And in this video, we are going to uncover the real root cause of negative self-talk and likely any other patterns that are holding you back. And I will walk you through specific steps to identify and start rewiring these beliefs that are in reality shaping your whole entire life. Now, I am sharing this early in the series because it is so foundational and honestly sets the stage for everything else in building a relationship with yourself, in healing, etc.
I am going to run through a super brief overview of the unconscious and conscious mind. And one of the best ways to understand these parts of your mind is to look at your mind like an iceberg. Small parts above water, about 5%, represents your conscious mind. This is where willpower, decision making, and planning happen. But underneath the surface, there is the other 95%. This is your unconscious mind. This is where your beliefs, habits, fears, emotional memory, and self-image live. And even though you're not aware of it, it is running the show most of the time. The unconscious mind is mostly programmed by the time you were 7 years old through what you observe, what you were praised for, what you were punished for, and what your nervous system learns to associate with safety. The unconscious mind loves what is familiar. It doesn't distinguish between what's true and what's imagined. It simply takes in whatever you feed it through repetition, emotion, and experience. Another way to think of your mind is like a computer. Your mind runs on the programs it's picked up over time. But just like a computer, once you realize a program is outdated or limiting, you can begin to rewrite it.
Why does understanding all of this matter so much? Well, you cannot build a strong relationship with yourself if you are still running from old scripts about who you need to be just to feel safe, loved, and accepted. Most of the time, the inner critic in your head is not your true self. It is a result of that programming. May it be societal, cultural, familial, all passed down until it becomes your thoughts by default. What many people do not understand, and what I did not understand until I started more intentionally investigating my own mind and beliefs, is that these beliefs are so deeply embedded that we mistake them for truth without even questioning them. But these beliefs shape how we talk to ourselves, how we treat ourselves, and they even shape what we allow ourselves to desire and to even receive in this lifetime. Before we get into the practices to help you release the unaligned programming, I will walk you through a few ways that this unconscious programming may show up in your day-to-day life. One example, you might hold back your voice because you were once told you were too sensitive, too much, or maybe had stupid ideas. Another common one is feeling guilt around money or success, or maybe a certain amount of money or success. And this could be because you learned it's selfish to have these things. Or maybe you find yourself burning out, chasing goals, because maybe you were taught, whether it's directly or indirectly, that your worth is tied to productivity. These are not just personality traits. They are learned survival strategies or programs that once protected you, but no longer do and do not reflect who you truly are. Now, let's get into the practices. Before we release the belief, we have to identify it. So for step one, which is identifying the belief, please grab a journal or a blank piece of paper or a couple, and I will have you write down your dream life. If this is something that you have never done, you may want to jot down initial thoughts and come back to it as the week goes on to see how what you wrote is feeling to you. But essentially, write down for this exercise what first comes to mind when you think of your dream life. So think about your environment. What type of home are you living in? Where are you living geographically? What do your finances look like? What does your career look like? What do your relationships, platonic and otherwise, look like? Then pay attention to what comes next as you are rereading what you wrote, or even as you're writing. Do you hear but what will my parents think? What if I fail? Or that's not realistic. Write those down, whatever is coming up there, because those are your limiting beliefs. Those are the beliefs that is keeping you within your little bubble, trying to protect you and keep you in the same place that you are working toward growing out of. Then ask yourself to dive even deeper. What would my parents or other important authority, influential figures in my life say about this dream life? What would they think about my career? What would they think about the hobbies? What would my partner or friends say? Whose opinion am I afraid of and why? Often what they believe has shaped what you unconsciously believe. Let's take the belief, I am not smart enough to have a successful career. One way I would offer to reframe this is I may not have it all figured out, but I am capable of growing and creating success in a way that feels right to me. You can play around with a few reframes and figure out which one feels most supportive and believable to you. And once you choose one, repeat it daily and even multiple times a day while you're doing things that you would do anyways, such as brushing your teeth or getting ready or driving to work. Your subconscious learns through repetition and emotion. After all, it was a negative emotion and or feeling that deepened that limiting belief to begin with. So don't just say it, feel it. Before we leave, I do have a couple micro awareness practices that have really supported me and my clients in identifying and reducing that negative self-talk throughout the day. The first one is to simply just start observing, how are you talking to yourself? A good time to catch this is after you have made a mistake or you forget something. Just observe. What are you saying? Would you speak to someone you love that way? The other practice is, at the end of the day, ask yourself, where did I choose a fear or a default pattern over possibility today? And what might I do differently next time? We cannot progress in our relationship with ourselves without this awareness, making the unconscious conscious. Here is what I will leave you with. Yes, you have been conditioned by repetition and survival, like we all have. But now, with this awareness, you get to choose what comes next. It takes intentional and often heavy, deep work and practicing patience and compassion with yourself. But you 110% have the power within you to create a strong relationship with yourself and in turn create the life of your dreams. In the next video, I will walk you through how to tell the difference between your true inner voice or your intuition and that fear-based programming. This is also so foundational. I cannot wait to share. Thank you so much for being here, especially if you have watched most of this video or toward the end. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again.